has Akers. He holds on. Oh, not an easy catch, but Akers went down and got it.
So the Minnesota Vikings have by far been the surprise NFL team this season. Sam Darnold has stepped up. He's going to get a payday after this season. And when the Vikings started off the season the way they did, the narrative was, when would they fall off and come back to reality? Well, that never happened. And the Vikings just got better and better throughout the season in crunch time. Kevin O'Connell never loses close games. And now all of a sudden, we are looking at a matchup for the NFC crown in the final week of the season against the Detroit Lions. Everything's coming together at the right time, and that's exactly what you want. So I want to talk all about it, and I want to also give my thoughts as to why this team really is a Super Bowl contender. But before I get into everything in this video, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so to go back to last week and the Vikings' 27-25 victory over the Green Bay Packers, this one kind of capped off exactly how this season has gone. To recap that game, Cameron Bynum recovered a Josh Jacobs fumble on the Packers' first drive of the game, and later on towards the end of the first quarter, when the Packers got the ball back, Jordan Love threw an 18-yard pass to Tucker Kraft, and the Packers settled for a field goal to score the first points of the game. Early on in the second, the Vikings made their first bit of noise. Darnold hit Naylor, Jordan Addison for two 13-yard gains, then back to Naylor for a 31-yard connection for the touchdown to put the Vikings on top 7-3. Then the Vikings defense got a huge 4th and 2 stand, and Darnold drove the team down the field again, hitting pretty much everyone. Hockenson had a 12-yard gain, Jefferson caught a pass, Naylor caught a 16-yarder, but the Packers defense bent and didn't break, holding the Vikes to a field goal as they took a 10-3 lead. And then right before halftime, Will the Throw kicked another one through the uprights to go up 10 as both teams headed to the locker room. Coming out of halftime, the Vikings really made a statement. Darnold again hit Naylor, who had a huge game for a 22-yard pass down the middle, and then Jefferson caught back-to-back passes, and Addison caught the 18-yard touchdown, and the Vikings took a 20-3 lead. It was complete domination up to this point, but you knew the Packers were way too good of a team to go down without a fight. The Green Bay defense forced a big turnover when Darnold was intercepted by Valentine, and then Josh Jacobs took it into the end zone on a 2-yard rush to cut the lead in half at a score of 10-20. But the Vikings, not wanting Green Bay to get any ideas, made sure to respond quickly. Aaron Jones had a few solid gains out of the backfield. Addison caught a 20-yard pass. Jones set the Vikings up in the red zone with another 13-yard run, and it was Cam Akers who caught a big touchdown pass to put Minnesota back on top by 17 with a score of 27-10. And from this point on, I do gotta give credit to Green Bay for fighting back. They definitely made the score seem closer than it was. The Vikings were in control the rest of the way, but there were a few anxious moments down the stretch. Emmanuel Wilson took one into the end zone, and Dobbs converted the 2-point conversion, and then Malik Heath caught one as well to get the score within 2. And then on a crucial 3rd and 2 play, Green Bay's last chance to make a stop, the Vikings ran a gutsy play call, putting the ball in the air, and Cam Akers made an incredible catch falling backwards off balance to put the game to rest. The Vikings moved to 14-2, now setting up the game of the year against the 14-2 Detroit Lions, and I'm going to talk about that game in a bit. But first, I just want to talk about Minnesota and how good they've been at winning close games this season. Like, statistically, what they are doing should be impossible. In 2022, Kevin O'Connell was 11-0 in one-possession games, and this season, they are basically the same, disregarding the one loss to Detroit early on. When you take a look at how good the Vikings have done against teams with winning records, they certainly look like a good team. Their record is 5-2, which is on par with other teams in the NFC. Plenty of people claim the Vikings were fraudulent in the 2022 season, but they aren't going to find that with this team. And we're seeing players really starting to settle in, and many of them have spoken out that Minnesota is where they want to be for the near future. Aaron Jones recently made a statement saying that he has found his new home and wants to stay in Minnesota the rest of his career. Jones spent his first 7 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, of course, before he was released last March after declining a pay cut. The Vikings quickly signed him to a 1-year, $7 million contract and have benefited from his diverse skill set and weekly availability. Jones turned 30 last month, but is on track to play 17 games for only the 2nd time in a season. He has already set a career high in carries with 245 and needs 29 rushing yards Sunday night against the Detroit Lions to exceed his previous high of 1,121 yards in a season, set in 2022. With 88 combined rushing and receiving yards Sunday night, he would eclipse his record of 1,558 yards from scrimmage that he set in 2019. The reason why I even bring this up and how this circles back to why I think Minnesota can win the Super Bowl is that everyone is completely bought in and they want to be a part of this team. Nobody is playing for themselves. Everybody wants the best for each other, and that has created an unmatched chemistry in the locker room. And this has been such an easy team to coach for Kevin O'Connell. But outside of that, talking more about some of the skill position players, Jordan Addison really has continued to impress me with how smart he is. There was an Aaron Jones run, a little zone to the left that almost scored, and then like 2 plays later, Cam Akers scored on a screen, and they showed Jordan Addison with a really good crack block from the outside. Always is great to see that from a little guy like that, but what you can't quite see from the angle is that he takes a couple of steps forward like he's about to release, which gets the corner to back off, and then he goes and crack blocks. The corner was playing coverage first, he gave him something to look at, he backed up a little bit, and then suddenly he was late to where he was supposed to be. And it was a great run by Aaron Jones too. It's just the little things that great players do and great teams do. And it truly is so fun to watch Jordan Addison play. And I really felt like he would become something since he was coming up behind Justin Jefferson, who is the best receiver in the league. Jordan has really come into his own as the wide receiver too, and in the playoffs, he is going to make things really difficult on an opposing secondary that's trying to game plan to stop this offense. Because obviously the focus goes to Jefferson, but you have to account for him, and then there is TJ Hawkinson over at tight end, and a few guys down the line. And then there's Aaron Jones, who is a threat with his pass catching ability as well. And then the Minnesota defense has only allowed more than 30 points one time the entire season, and they look ready for the upcoming challenge of Jahmyr Gibbs in the most important game of the season. The Vikings run defense, which ranks number 2 in the NFL, looked up to the challenge against the Packers. Josh Jacobs had to really work for 69 yards on 17 carries, getting hit at the line of scrimmage on 10 attempts. The Vikings missed just 2 tackles. It was the second highest rate that Jacobs was hit at the line, behind only week 13 versus Miami. Our guys did a good job of setting edges and defeating blocks, and Jacobs still found some room there on a couple runs, defensive coordinator Brian Flores said Tuesday, but overall, we felt like we did a solid job defending the run game. He's a very good back. They've got a very good run scheme. Like we said, we were going to have to play really good team defense to limit it a little bit, and I thought we did that good enough to win the game, and same goes moving forward against Detroit. So yeah, I really do think the Vikings have a shot to make a deep run in the playoffs, merely based on the fact that they don't lose close games. And all the playoffs are is close games. Obviously a lot will have to go right, and they will have to play perfect team football, but I'm definitely curious as to what you guys think. And here's what some of the guys and Kevin O'Connell had to say after their recent win.
Proud of our team. That was a hard-fought NFC North game. Football team we played against was playing as well as anybody in the league, and we knew it would be a big-time challenge. Took a lot of different parts of our team to come together, make some plays to find a way to win the game, and very proud of our guys. And it was so important to us this year to get back to the way we should play at US Bank Stadium. So to finish 7-1 in front of our fans and have that kind of atmosphere in a game like this is why we do what we do, and love the support of our fans. Thought it was phenomenal tonight, as always. It was huge for us, and our team thrives off of it.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you'd like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.